Welcome to Scale with Clarity, the podcast for entrepreneurs who are building a business and a life that actually feels good. I'm Brooke Cunninger, fractional CFO, strategist, and mom of three, and I've learned that scaling isn't just about hitting revenue milestones. It's about finding alignment between your big vision and your everyday reality. Each week, you'll hear honest conversations with founders who are redefining success on their own terms. We'll talk about the pivots, the aha moments, and the tough decisions behind the scenes. Plus, the surprising ways entrepreneurship becomes the greatest personal growth journey of all. Whether you're dreaming of leaving corporate, navigating the messy middle, or trying to grow without burning out, this show is here to help you scale with more clarity, confidence, and ease. Because building a business should expand you, not deplete you. Let's scale with clarity together. How was it received, and how did it feel after you finally got it out and told whoever you had to tell that you were leaving?
I think it was because I don't know, the leadership team was probably like 7 or 8 key people. I would say it was like half and half. Some like half were just like, I'm not surprised, and then the other half were like
I thought you'd be here
with
for
silence. I'm like, so I'm resigning. And like one there were 2 guys who were partners in Toronto. They were like running and get coffee, and they had their masks on and like we're like on FaceTime, and I'm just like, okay, not how I wanted to tell you guys, but like I'm resigning. And they're like, stop the order. He's like, what did she just say? She said, Julie's resigning. They're like, what? And so I had given 3 weeks notice.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like fair.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to like bow out after 2. And I gave them 3 weeks notice plus a week of like me being like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then some stuff happened in that first week. And I was like, you know what? Today's my last day.
It's almost
Goodbye.
like once you've, I like to say, like, remove the mask. So, like horses are racing and they have like those blinders on or whatever.
Yeah.
Once you've moved it and be like, nope, I'm going to move to something that I know is like, I don't know what it is, but something different. Even the littlest things, you're like, I would have put up with no more. It's almost like you're like, I can't, like you see in like colors again of like all of the things that are like not in alignment. So
yeah. Well, and what's
surprise me.
funny is there hadn't been an all company announcement that went out yet. And so like when I said like today's my last day, that was then the company announcement where I was like, update. They put a virtual happy hour on my calendar as a farewell that I declined.
You were like, it was just pent up, just the time. It was past the time for you to just
done.
move
I'm
on.
blown. I'm done.
Oh my gosh. So that was, God, 4, 5, what year are we?
Yeah.
5 years ago now?
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
6?
5.5 years ago.
I mean, you don't have to walk me through all of those 5 years, but clearly you had some grief that you needed to kind of process and stuff around with your mom and stuff. But like, we talk about the why, and I've talked to several people, many people, in fact, that have left because there's layoffs happening now, or just maybe not their first decision, but they're in this period of like, what do I do? Like, I've been on autopilot. I don't really want to go back to that life, but like, so they're like reading books and just trying to find themselves. Like, what helped you? And like, where do you even start, would you say, for some people who are in that?
Yeah. So what's interesting is, first of all, when I quit, I needed to just be for a hot second. So like I took 3 weeks of like, I'm going to have summer break. I mean, like I blew up a baby pool. I was like boozy lunches, like whatever. I like had summer break. And I didn't realize at the time that the HR world was not for me. Like I was like, maybe I get into leadership development within the HR space.
Yep.
Maybe I get into recruiting to like feel more connected with human beings. So when I went out to like job search again, because it wasn't like I'm going to be a coach. Like when I started to job search, and I was getting connected with people I should be excited to get connected with.
Yeah.
I was getting interviews at companies that I should be excited to have interviews with. And not that I land the job every time, but like I usually make it past round 1, right? I'm usually making it like further down. I was not getting past round 1 in any of these interviews. None. And I would hang up feeling gross. And I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Yep.
And then I had a conversation with my former recruiter who was on my team. I'm like, how are you taking, she was furloughed. I'm like, how are you taking the downtime? She's like, you know what? My husband and I talked, I'm actually getting a coach certification right now. And like, I had another full body
like,
experience. I was
yeah.
like, wait, say that again?
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, I worked with a coach 15 years ago. I believed in the process. Look at the experience that I've
Yep.
had now.
Yep.
Look at what I loved about HR. I was essentially like, they called me the internal therapist. I'm like, I can connect with people. I get people talking. Duh. And so as I talked to my husband, he was like, oh yeah, we hire coaches all the time, like executive coaches. Like, yeah, you'd be totally good. I'm like, oh my God. The plan was for me to get the certification and take it back into corporate. Again, it was like must be W-2 in order to
you don't
have
even
a life.
Yeah.
And I was going down that route, and all of a sudden I was having a lovely networking call with this woman who seemed very stuck. So I was just like, oh, I'm just going to like kind of coach her right now. And at the end, she's like, did you just coach me? I'm like, I did. I was like, you seemed stuck. I'm going through this program. And she's like, are you taking new clients? I was like, yeah, I'm taking new clients.